Looks like we're in for another Henry story today. Remember when Henry was having trouble pulling a train last time when he caught up with Thomas? Well, here we are again. Henry was unfortunately feeling down in the dumps because nobody understood his case. Even James, one of his fellow tender engines, felt he didn't work hard enough. What is this? Why does everyone find Henry's story hard to believe? Such ignorance among friends sometimes. Sheesh. One day, Top Hat came by to talk to Henry.
You're too expensive, Henry. If we can't make you better, we must get another engine instead of you. This made Henry, his driver, and his fireman very sad.
Now, of course, he wouldn't say this directly to Henry's face, but if he was required to find another engine, that might mean scrapping was the only thing left for Henry. He's already costing Top Hat enough money trying to maintain him. Seeing if he could comprehend the issue himself, Top Hat decides to take a day to experience Henry. As the day went on, Henry's driver and fireman explained to him why Henry had irregular operating problems.
Henry managed to start, but his fireman was not satisfied. Henry is a bad steamer, he said to the Fat controller. I build up his fire, but it doesn't give enough heat.
With that said, Henry had to stop pulling the train he was currently taking. He just wasn't managing the workload properly. Thankfully, Edward was available to finish the job while Henry moved on to a siding. Again, Edward is probably the only engine not to ridicule or criticize Henry for not completing the job. Meanwhile, Top Hat continued to gather information on the matter with Henry's operators. According to them, the coal they've been using was a rather garbagey kind of fuel source. Instead, they recommended Welsh Coal, something that was more hefty in price but could prove to be better. Top Hat was willing to give Henry a shot because he wanted to be fair. Something most owners wouldn't dare do nowadays. Many would just rather get something completely new and forget trying to keep what would work.
When the Welsh Coal came, Henry's driver and fireman were excited. Now we'll show them, Henry, old fellow.
And with that, Henry's operators got him started and began their day. Waiting to start their first train, Top Hat came by for a status update. According to them, they were feeling very confident in the new batch of coal. Happy with hearing the good news, Top Hat gave his blessing and things got underway, including his cheerful theme, of course.
Henry had a lovely day. He had never felt so well in his life.
Henry, in fact, did so well he ended up beating Thomas to the punch at the next station. When Thomas arrived, Henry couldn't help but rub it in Thomas's face about the timing. As much as I'm against an eye for an eye kind of comeback, this I can accept since Thomas made his comment out of disbelief the last time, while Henry does so not to annoy Thomas, but to show him he's back to his old self. Plus, Thomas's reaction for the day was comical.
Whoosh, said Thomas to Annie and Clarabelle. Have you ever seen anything like it? Both Annie and Clarabelle agreed that they never had.
Absolutely, because nobody thought Henry would make such a strong rebound. But he did, so ha. This episode was always a happy one. Yes, the beginning did seem like things wouldn't end well for Henry, but his driver and fireman made a life-saving recommendation using the Welsh Coal. The quality of various products can change everything when it comes to how well things can work. Vehicles are no different. Give them crappy fuel or parts, don't expect them to last as long as the premium stuff. What's also cool is that finally we have an episode about Henry that isn't a two-parter. Here we get closure within one sitting, and seeing Henry feeling better than ever for once is a huge improvement. Hopefully, James's opinion will turn around too after seeing how well Henry has recovered. The best thing to be demonstrated aside from Henry's revival is just how caring Top Hat is. Really though, how many people want to spend more money on something that only one engine needs when buying a whole new engine might be easier if it can run off the same trashy coal? Everyone else seems to be unbothered by it. Probably most would do that in today's time. Nobody wants to put in extra hours and money to fix an old piece of equipment that fails to do the job it was designed for. Yet, Top Hat continues to give his engines a chance because he sees value in them. If that's not a caring person, I don't know what you call it. We really don't have any new music, just iterations of Henry's sad theme at varying octaves and keys. Henry's signature theme is always a likable one though. Locations aren't all too new except for one. The best of this entry is when the new coal arrives and we see how enthralled Henry and his crew are. The one new shot we didn't get before was seeing Top Hat and the whole crew in Henry's cab. Usually we only get to see a brief exterior shot or just the firebox itself. This, however, hasn't been witnessed yet before. This narrative is definitely one of the most satisfying in a while. Next episode is The Flying Kipper. Thanks for watching.